So today I'm going to give the presentation topic about the religious tourism. So religious tourism is also called spiritual or faith tourism. It's generally defined as it's a type of tourism where people travel individually or in groups for pilgrimage, missionary, or leisure purposes. It implies traveling with the prime motive of experiencing religious activities or the products that induce such as art, cultural traditions, and architecture. It's also one of the earliest type of the tourism discovered. According to the World Tourism Organization, it's estimated that around 300 million pilgrims visit the world's key religious sites every year. So there are lots of pilgrims destinations in the world, includes Mecca, India, Mexico City, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and more. These three pictures on the PowerPoint shows the three main typical religions in the world, which are Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity. So the first pic I find is one of the research about the tourism segment. We can see from the table that the religious tourism only occupies 1.23% of the total tourism industry, which is really low, although it is one of the earliest tourism type. So the picture on the right side is what I listed and make, and I find different beliefs in different countries. For example, Christianity is the main religion in Mexico City. In Saudi Arabia, people mainly believe in Islam religion, and Buddhism is the most popular one in India and more. So today I will mainly focus on specific religions in Japan. There are two major religions in Japan, which are Shinto and Buddhism. Shinto is an old traditional religion that is deeply rooted in Japanese people's mind. It is generally defined as the ritual practices to be carried out diligently to establish a connection between present-day Japan and its ancient past. And this is generally focused on people who put all important things in their life together, such as the wind, the sun, the rain, and people believing that they will become the Shinto god after they die and are revered by their families. So the Shinto religion does not have a specific finder or a scriptures like the Bible, and nearly 80% of the population in Japan participates in Shinto practices or rituals, according to the recent research. Move on to the next slide. The other kind of the tourism type in Japan is Buddhism, which is a path of practice and spiritual development leading to insight into the true nature of reality. Buddhist practices like meditation is to challenge themselves in order to develop the quality of awareness, kindness, and wisdom, and to help them get rid of tightness, anxiety, and more. As of 2008, around 34% of the Japanese identify as Buddhist, as the number has been continuously growing in terms of membership in organized religion. It is a belief in what truly matters, and things happen are dependent on many other conditions. So you can see from the picture here, there are a variety of places in Japan that people can visit for Shinto purposes, such as Tokyo Imperial Palace in Tokyo, Yawata in Kyoto, and the Fushimi Main Gate, one of the oldest shrines in Japan, and more. as you can see all the great pictures here. And I made my own itinerary to travel to Japan. I traveled there when I was 16. This traveling scenario I made was similar to the places that I went before, and it's basically a normal 1 week traveling scenario. For the first day, it's mainly focusing on fully exploring central Tokyo, and all the sites are very close to each other. So for the first day, we arrived at the airport in Tokyo and settled down in the hotel, which we spent the whole morning for. And we have lunch there. And in the afternoon, we to visit the Tokyo Imperial East Garden, which is a typical building for all types of tourists that have to visit. Um, so for the time period from 3 p.m. to 4:30, the Tokyo Imperial Palace. Japan is the only modern nation to still refer to the head of its royal family as an emperor. So the Imperial Palace is the place that people go in to believe in their Shinto gods. And from the dinner time to evening, shopping and exploring in Ginza, which included dinner. This is the most popular upmarket shopping, dining, and entertainment districts. Besides the religious holy sites reason, Ginza absolutely is a best place that must to go to. So for the second day, I still make the trip keep on Tokyo to further explore the Tokyo city. In the morning, the schedule is to visit Meiji Shrine from 9 to 11 a.m. and then head to Takeshita Tori Street at noon. And then to four explore the the Shinjuku, which refers to just a large entertainment, business, and shopping area around the Shinjuku station, and then dinner in the skyscraper district to discover one of the most fancy views of Japan. So for the next two following days, we head to Kyoto from Tokyo in the morning on the third day and spent next whole day in Kyoto to fully take a look at the Kyoto sites. There are a variety of religious places you can visit in Kyoto, such as Kamakura, Junkakuji, Yasaka Shrine, and Kodaiji Shrine, and more. These are all the typical fantastic places for people to discover their old traditional vintage architecture. Especially when people visit in summer, there are some interesting festivals. Festivals might occur, such as you can see the cherry blossom season in the Jin Matsuri, which is one of the famous festival there. And for the last 2 days, day 5 and day 6 are basically more relaxed days. So we take half of the trip in Kyoto and half of the trip back to Tokyo, which takes 3 hours. So for the marketing strategy, we can see from the 4P here, the price I made is generally divided into three budget, depends on uh, different people's expectation, which are low, medium, and high budget. And the price per person is around 1,600 to 2,800 Canadian dollars for the low budget and up to over 4,000 Canadian dollars for high budget. Which are including the accommodation, entertainment, entrance fee, and the transportation fee, and the airfare is excluded. And the product is all the fantastic views in the holy site in both Tokyo and Kyoto. and the place is mainly in these two big cities in Japan. And promotion, we can find on their own website and all the tour trip guide on the website, and they have their own newspapers and people's word to mouth to advertise their beautiful views. And here, the next slide is talking about some issues that the religious tourism must bring to us. The first is the infringement of the carrying capacity. It is because the religious tourism is only popular in specific seasons or the time period that holds some festivals or events occurs. This short, intense season might alter the dynamics of the region for the rest of the year. Another is the religious tourism will increase the burden of waste management and control because the advancement in technology might bring some plastic garbage to the society to some extent. Also, the air pollution will be brought by any overcrowded tourism, including religious tourism. For example, uh, the exhaust gas by increasing transportation is a negative side to the environment. And monetizing can be another issue of religious tourism because nowadays people are easily to be more profit oriented, and the real value of religious tourism might be lost to some extent because people are only care about the profit they made from exploring tourism. And the next slide is talking about some solutions to solve the religious tourism issues, which are providing the tourists with a holistic tourism experience, improving connectivity to specific religious tourism circuits to promote them, and the scrutiny of religious trust, and developing the integrated infrastructure for religious tourism development. And thank you. That's my presentation. Any questions?